Alright, so he's here. This is a little birthday gift to myself, and actually, it was this past weekend, but when I saw the new Daredevil Born Again, the first episode, I think that was March 5, as soon as the episode ended, I told myself, you know what? I've waited long enough, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy this guy. And, I'm not the biggest fan of Mafex, but I keep hearing such good things about him, so super excited. Certifying genuine product. Yeah, and apologize with the camera setup yet again, but this is the best I got for now, and I really want to get him out of the box, so I just kind of put this up or whatever. But so yeah, it took 15 days, well, technically 14 days, because I bought it late at night on the 5th. Box came a little dinged up. I got this off of eBay, about $100. Not an inbox collector, but if you're buying on eBay, that's most likely gonna happen. You can't really guarantee that the box will come pristine, so something to look out for. I knew I was gonna rip this open. I mean, I like the box. It's really nice. I like the little comic art on the inside, but not much I'm gonna do with this except put it on a shelf and maybe eventually throw it away if I get tired of it or if it takes up too much room. Here are the regular Mafex stands. I say regular, do they all come with this ring? I felt they usually come with this little grippy thing, I think, but this ring thing I feel like is kind of not always there. I don't know, it looks like these parts here are additional. Alright. This clamshell. Try not to have all the pieces fly everywhere. There goes one of the billy clubs. But yeah, I'm sure this camera won't capture it, but opening it right away, like, wow, the red is a really cool red. Like, it's like dark in some places and light in some places, like a lot of red highlights. It looks super cool. And he feels kind of substantial, like he feels heavier than I was expecting, so that's pretty cool. Let's get this plastic off of him. So, part of the reason why, and I don't handle any of the figures I own particularly rough, but Mafex just kind of feels like I have to have like white gloves sometimes. I have a 185 Spider-Man that I kind of just gave up on being nice to when it comes to like posing him, and so I don't like play with them or anything like that. I'm sure if I did, they would probably break a lot sooner, but eventually just get tired of just handling it like, so delicately all the time. So, I have been like just treating him like normal, like I would on Marvel Legends or whatever. And his joints have gotten a little looser. These feel super like strong. That's actually really cool. I feel like this is almost like a generational upgrade. I don't know if it has any of like the Nightwing stuff. Some people made those comparisons before, but these joints feel super strong, which is really cool. Night and day difference to the 185 Spider-Man, which I do really like a lot. It's not to like crap all over them or whatever when it comes to that figure. He always felt like a little maybe too small or too skinny, and I think maybe that affects the joints a bit. But this feels like a solid dude. Like that's really cool. Oh, he's falling over. Okay, so it looks like this comes off here. Normally I'd be like a little like, oh, I kind of wish that the like sticks would go inside the holster. I'm sure this is supposed to come off. I don't want to break it right on camera. Okay, it came off. There's a little bit of resistance there, but otherwise it's fine. It comes in the box with another holster with one club missing, and then another holster with both clubs missing, which I'm probably gonna latch on because I'm gonna have the clubs in hand. I was saying that I kind of wish that you could put them in the holster, but that does look really neat, and they kind of have all your bases covered with the amount of clubs that can be in there, you know? So I guess that is really everything you need. Before I move on to the clubs and the other accessories, I don't know if you can pick up that like stern face he has, which looks pretty decent. I'm gonna switch over to this. Oh, didn't pop on, but it got on. It's not coming off. There's this other head that has kind of like the gritted teeth. Let's see if you can. Maybe I can move this light over. And then this last head, which I'm going to keep on for now, this yelling expression, like he's really angry, which I'm really happy with. They looked a lot plainer in the promotional photos, but in person there's a lot more detail, like a lot more shadow around the, like, what are these, smile lines underneath his nose and on the chin. There's more shading there than I thought there would be, so it does look a lot less plain. I don't know if it's the case with the Captain America. I remember those faces, they looked super just like pale, like they weren't kind of like they were drawn simply and sculpted simply. This looks like an actual sculpt. I'm really happy with it. It looks like he has also 6 pairs of hands. I'm gonna switch them out so that we can get some like belly club poses. Okay, well, there's where I don't love Mafex too much. Like, there's like very little resistance here when it comes to switching out the hands. Like, it's not gonna fall off like that or anything like that, but I don't know. It just feels like it should be a little stronger than that, and it's because of those tiny pegs. Not a huge fan of those. So, and you know, again, it's not gonna fall off in a normal case. I just like having like a substantial figure in hand, you know. And when they come out like that, let's see this one. Yeah, that kind of just slides out. It doesn't really feel like it's there. And it's a bit of a turn off, honestly, when it comes to these things. Let's get these grips. These are nice, like to hold the. Although they look, it's like shaking already. That's how it doesn't feel like that on the figure, but for me that's like it doesn't feel like that on the figure yet, because it just might someday. Okay, actually, so this one, the belly club holding hands, they, at least that one, and let's see this one. Yeah, okay, that has more resistance. That's actually really good. That felt way more premium. Like, I just paid $100 for this thing, you know. That felt like, okay, they locked in, so that's good. Let's get these clubs in hand. This part does go out, right, when he holds these? I don't. Yeah, like he's smacking somebody up with these. I don't think the little cloth holder would be on top. But you know, I thought I wasn't gonna like these because they kind of look like little, kind of like those candy cigarettes. But I actually like them a lot, and so I've been trying to read more Daredevil comics and stuff, and you know, I read Born Again so many years ago, but they had that not that premium, like that pocket edition that came out a little while ago, so I bought that, reread it. I'm reading now the Kevin Smith, Joe Quesada run, and I noticed that the Billy Clubs are a lot skinnier than they come with the Marvel Legends. Like the Marvel Legends ones are super thick, and it is something that I didn't realize bothered me before, but now that I see the difference, it actually does bother me a lot. These are the same scale, more or less, but these are like super thick. Like if you're kind of swinging that thing around, it just doesn't make any sense. But these, like, to like hit somebody with like a baton, like it just makes a lot of sense. Um, okay, but yeah, no, this looks really cool. It looks very much like the comic books, and it looks like, okay, there's a lot of like swing, like he would really hurt somebody with that because it's assuming it was like metal or something. Like it just feels very aerodynamic. Gonna switch these out for now. Um, so he also comes with two accessories with a bendy wire, and so I've been seeing that they keep snapping here at the top. I'm not gonna play with this one too much. I don't have a lot of poses where I'm gonna be using the hook. I actually don't even like love the hook too often in the comics. It looks kind of, well, whatever. But I am probably going to be using these a lot. So these are the batons attached with the wire, and this does show up in the comic books a lot. And there's all these really great poses. Either he's standing and like flipping these around, or he's like jumping off a rooftop, and uh, like the wire is eventually going to catch onto something. You know what? Let's just do one. So this one I am gonna unbend because I know that I'll be using it a lot. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. But just to get just sort of a pose going. Ooh, that's kind of nerve-wracking. Let's put one in here. I like that. So the grip too. It's there's a bit of resistance there. And this is kind of like one of your go-to Daredevil poses. He's just like upside down, and the wire is like doing its thing in the wind over there. That's not the best in the world, but when I get him on a stand, I promise this will look a little better. But it's just cool that he can do that kind of pose, and it looks so great. And it's something that upsets me that Marvel Legends hasn't done a bendy wire in all of this time. Like they've had a lot of years. Like it's definitely something that is missing from their Daredevil. But okay. As far as the other hands go, I'm not gonna go and pop all of these on and off. He comes with regular fists. He comes with relaxed hands. He comes with these sort of jumping hands, like he's about to catch onto something. He comes with these like tiger claw hands for like kung fu stuff. Can I get that on my dark blue background here? And he comes with these chopping hands, or these stop hands. Alright, and so that was just a little unboxing. It's not exactly like a review or anything, but just having him on camera, I'm really, really excited to like pose this guy, have him up on the shelf. I guess before we go, we can do some size comparisons. I do have a couple of figures on the side here. Let me just get these clubs back in hand. I'm probably going to always have him using these clubs, actually. It's either that or the bendy wire ones. So let's get first and foremost. This is a Daredevil 3-pack Daredevil on the Renew Your Vows body. I did the shoulder mod here, so he has bigger shoulders than he comes with. They're usually very small. These are Falcons, and I gave him little hand wraps. And Oh, I also replaced his boots with Falcon's. Poor Falcon. He's still on the shelf, but he kind of he's small shouldered and pointy shoed. This one is pointy shoed too, but unlike this one, it doesn't. This looks like a onesie, and this looks more like he's wearing like an actual boot. I don't. I think I prefer the boot than the pointy shoes, but this doesn't look all that bad. This toy joint's a little loose though. That's not great. This one is slightly loose, but not as loose as this one. This one's a little like just flipping around. Okay, thank you, Mafex. But yeah, so they're pretty much around the same height. I always thought that the Mafex Spider-Man was a little too small, and right now he's wearing a head that came with the CT toys. I thought that the original head that comes with him is maybe like a little too big for some. You know, it depends on the artist. The McFarlane Spider-Man, sure, like I think of like a giant head or whatever, but I don't know. On this body, the colors aren't very McFarlane, so I gave him the smaller head. I think, you know, it's not so bad. The size difference, I thought it was going to be more substantial, but it looks decent. Like, it looks like probably how it should, more or less. He's supposed to be 5'10", though, so what would make them like 6'2" at this scale? I'm not 100% sure. Here I have another Renew Your Vows body on the Scarlet Spider with a cloth sweater. This, he looks a lot bigger. It's like the scale creep, I guess, but even compared to this other Daredevil, so he's a little taller because of the boots change, but this one looks so much bigger than this one, or he feels bigger than this one, even though it's technically more or less the same body. Well, make use of that information however you like. I wanted to bring in a Kingpin, which, you know, just a massive figure. One of my favorites. He looks really, really cool. And I think, I think this looks, sorry about that. I think this looks pretty good. I think comic book wise, this is pretty accurate, them fighting. Here's Matt taking a swing. Yeah, Kingpin's just a massive dude, so I think that looks perfectly fine. I'm probably gonna have him on a stand, like doing some kind of kick or something with Kingpin. By the way, compared to like Spider-Man, or even some other figures, like I like how he stands, and I think it's because he has a really good sensor of gravity because he's so substantial. The plastic just feels heavy, and he feels really premium, so that's really great. Let's put his arms down. And okay, Elektra. Wanted to bring Elektra in. And yeah, obviously the paint looks so much better on him. I don't know if the camera can show it, but the paint is maybe my favorite part about him. He looks just like perfectly highlighted or shaded. It's very subtle, but because it's such detailed shading, and they're like the rivets of his abs, or especially the back muscles on his arms. It's subtle, but because there's so much of it, it really gives him like this not otherworldly, but he stands out against regular plastic figures. So they do look a little different, but I think that you can kind of get away with it. Like it looks fine. But this is just very much like a flat red in comparison. Let's bring in the Netflix Daredevil. I bought this one. He was kind of in rough shape. I painted up the black again so that he looks more like newer, I guess. And he was missing the baton. I got these custom batons on eBay. And I like that they're thin. They don't connect like they're supposed to on the Marvel Legends, like on this one, but they feel very substantial. They feel kind of like a better quality, and the paint is really nice. So, and they fit in the holster, which was like a big deal for me. Like if they didn't fit in the holster, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And looks like they're about the same height. This one's a little taller, just slightly taller. Let's bring in Matt Murdock from No Way Home. I painted his glasses a little bit to be darker like the new show. They're still pretty small, which is like the worst part about him. And I watched a Can I Make It video, and I kind of shaved the sides of his head a little bit more to give him a more Charlie Cox kind of head shape. I think it kind of worked out. I could go further actually and shave a little bit more off. I think I will eventually. And this is just a Matt Murdock head on a blue suit. I forget who was on the original body. It's a little short. Actually, while he's here, let's see how this looks on this body. Though it kind of sucks because I don't have an actual Matt Murdock head without the glasses, and you know. Okay, so that doesn't fit on here. If I put some thumbtack, he probably would fit. But even then, you know, why is he wearing like these the glasses when he's in the Daredevil suit? Like that just probably would never happen. So I don't know. I have like the head that came with the hood, the screaming head with the short black hair. I may paint that red and make a Matt Murdock head. It's not. He has had that haircut before. I think I've read a comic where he has hair that short. Kind of prefer him like this. Kind of like this is more of a lawyer look, I feel. And I would kind of want this, but more disheveled, like the hair messed up and no glasses, of course. But in the meantime, I could probably just use that head from the hood. Here's a Punisher, and you know, he is actually pretty great. I hated that I had to buy a 2-pack to get him, and Bushwhacker is I'm never taking him out of the shelf. I can't imagine that I have anything I'd want to take a picture of that he would be involved. But he's really great. He feels like he came with like a matte coat out of the box, and you know, out of all of them, look at the way that the light captures them compared to like. Well, no, I did give this Daredevil a matte coat, so it's kind of similar. He's not that glossy. Let me see if I have a glossy one. Yeah. So, I love this version of Cyclops, but this is not a great figure. He does have a matte coat as well, but it doesn't take away from how low quality his plastic looks. And, you know, he's a little shaky. I don't know if you could tell the difference here, but the way that the light hits, especially in person, it looks way better here than it does here. You know, I don't. Maybe Scarlet Spider too, because I don't think he has a matte coat. So, I don't know. The color is just like so much flatter or less high quality. But yeah, okay, so I wanted to make that a 15-minute video. It looks like it's been 20 something minutes. I apologize. Oh, here's one. I just got this one, so I haven't given him a matte coat, but you can kind of tell like the difference in plastic quality there by the way the light hits it. He just looks deep, man. And I forgot about Bullseye, which I adore this figure. I think he's underrated. I know nobody wanted to get a 3-pack to get Matt, but I even like the blue here. It's not his most usual look, and I could always paint it black really easily. But I don't know, it adds some character, I feel. And that head sculpt is just fantastic. He looks really insane. Unfortunately, my masked head, it came with the target slightly off center, and something about that felt so wrong about like the character. Like he would probably have like OCD about the target being centered on his forehead. So I just kept this one on, but I really like it, and I like these little. It got bent just now, but I like this hand with the throwing knives. He looks like he's having so much fun, you know, and yeah, so there's my 25-minute unboxing of the Mafex Daredevil. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope that the audio recorded this whole time, otherwise I'm just talking to myself. But thank you guys for watching.